Hello, Tim from Fair Play Now on the 26th of June 2024. So we all know that the powers that shouldn't be, as I always refer to them, are very good at a particular thing. They're very, very good at gaslighting, which, if you don't know what the term means, it basically means lying to you, I suppose, telling you a load of nonsense which you kind of deep down know is nonsense, but they've got the barefaced cheek to say, oh no, it's totally true, totally true. So that is what it is, and the powers that shouldn't be always do it all the time. They'll tell you one thing and you know it's a complete and utter lie. And a very recent example, of course, would be while we were all shivering away in a very uncommonly chilly May and spring, really, up until just very lately. Luckily we've got some what I'd term as half decent weather now, but all the spring up to now has just been really chilly, and May especially wasn't that great at all, and yet they had the barefaced cheek to say that it's the warmest May on record. And their excuse, of course, is, oh yeah, the nighttime temperatures were sort of particularly mild, so that's why it's the warmest. And I just think, really? And anyone who says to me that May was the warmest one in history, I will just reply, no, it wasn't. Anyway, gaslighting. Moving on to one thing they will definitely gaslight everybody about, both now and definitely going on into the future, is, well, I can just imagine we get to, let's say, 50 years into the future. So we're in the 2070s, and what will people think when they look back upon this? And if the powers that shouldn't be have their way, it will be, oh well, there was this sort of terrible lurgy that was going around in 2020, and we did a heroic effort where people sacrificed themselves by going into lockdown for many months on end, and then they took a particular thing in the arm which was rushed through in record time, and that came along and saved the day. And that is what people will think, that is what will be taught in schools, and that will be what's depicted in any kind of historical films, documentaries, dramas, etc. about these times. And what they won't talk about is, well, what I would call the truth. That is what you, if you're watching this most likely, and I would sort of deem to be reality, that the whole thing was basically just a load of nonsense, and you know, certain things that were done were very harmful to society. All of that kind of thing will just be buried, and you know if they get their way, that is what's going to happen, don't you? Yeah, it really will. And although one of the main reasons why I've made this channel is to provide a kind of well, not only support for like-minded people, but also a kind of an historical document as well. But the thing is, it's all online, isn't it? And not even really on my sites. I've got a load of them, a load of my videos, especially the ones from 2020, 21, 2022, kind of backed up onto hard drives. But even that, hard drives aren't really a fantastic kind of storage medium, and certainly having a load of videos on channels or sites like YouTube, Odyssey, Rumble and all of that, well, who knows, none of those might even be around in 50 years time. So that'll be all my videos gone, and apart from the ones that I've saved to my hard drives. And well, will they even have computers that you can plug a 2020s hard drive into to access the video and the information. So this is kind of a bit of a concern of mine. So what I've done is I've undertaken really a brand new initiative, and it's a brand new page on my website, which I'll leave a link to in the description box below, so you can go and check it out for yourself. And I'm going to be calling it the COVID Chronicles. So this is going to be really for anybody who wants to. That could be you, that could be your friends, anyone who's kind of like-minded and kind of have seen what we've seen. You're very welcome to write into me with your version of events that happened in 2020. What I'm going to do is try and keep it between start of 2020 and let's say the end of 2022. That's probably the best thing to do, just the height of the sort of nonsense really, and just write into me with details, with a sort of like an essay, I suppose you could call it, or kind of a written account of just what you went through really. How did you feel when Johnson announced that first lockdown? How did you feel when all of the mandates were at the height of their madness? How did you feel if you went on the London marches and things like that? How did you feel when you first found Stand in the Park? Just document all of that, send it in to me, and I'll put the email address both below here. That will appear here, and also it will be link for that will be in the description box below as well. And just send it in to me. Just write it out in a Word document or notes document and send it in to me, and I will publish it on my website on the COVID Chronicles page, and then your sort of thoughts and views will be there. Ideally, it'd be good if you could give me permission to put your sort of full name there, first name, last name, and also the rough vicinity where you live. So John Smith from Nottingham would be ideal, but if you want a little bit more anonymity, you could just say John from Nottinghamshire, but keep it something like that anyway. So that is my latest initiative, and what I might do is, once I've got quite a few entries into this new sort of page on my website, COVID Chronicle entries. By the way, there's already a couple of them up there that have already been sent in to me to give you a bit of inspiration of what other people have done, so you can have a read through that. And also, I haven't even done one myself yet, but I have got a few thoughts of mine that I wrote down in 2021 that are kind of at the bottom of that page, so you can look at that as well for a bit more inspiration if you want that. So that is what's happening, that's what I'm doing, and if you can contribute to this new initiative, it might help you get things off your chest, maybe by just writing them out and then seeing them up on a website maybe, but also you'll be helping me to prevent the gaslighting and to create a historical document. And what I might even do, I have to wait until I've got a fair few entries, maybe 40, 50, 60, depends on how long the individual ones are, I guess. But I would like to maybe get it published into a book. That would be absolutely fantastic. So you'll have to send me in your sort of entries on that condition, knowing that it might appear in a book at some point in the future. But if we've got sort of hardback books, and by the way, anyone who contributes to this will get a a free copy of this book if I do it, and then you can just keep it in the loft or something, or on your bookshelves. And who knows, in sort of 50 years time, when everybody's been totally gaslit, if the powers that shouldn't be get their way, people will stumble across this book in maybe a bookshop somewhere, or in someone's loft or attic, and read through it and sort of think, hang on a minute, this isn't what we learned at school about this thing. Everything's totally different, and we've got all these different people in this book all saying similar things. So what really was going on there? And it might get people in the future thinking a little bit. So yeah, I'm quite excited about this one, quite excited that I've got this thing going, and yeah, I think it is important, and I would like sort of a lot of entries to come in. So please, if you feel at all inclined to do so, send that in to me. The first couple of entries are kind of from Christian people, but that was just how things occurred. But this is open to everybody of all faiths, or even if you've got no sort of faith at all, kind of official or mainstream faith or anything like that, you can still send in your entries. It's all welcome, as are any kind of nationalities. So it's not just for the UK. This, if you're in Ireland, the States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, anywhere else in the world, that would be great as well. So it's all welcome. Do send it in, and that would be absolutely fantastic. And I just thought, because we've been through kind of some bad times over the last 4 years, and we've got through them in our various ways. A stand in the park has been one that has been a fantastic help, not only to me and Lorraine, but to many people. And there's just one incredible thing that I had an email about that I read just a little while ago. And there was this lady who said she'd been to a wedding recently, and it was a wedding between two people who met at a stand in the park. So I'm wondering if this is the first stand in the park wedding, the first freedom movement wedding even. Who knows, it could well be. And I don't know how old this couple are who got married, but if they're of kind of childbearing age, who knows, we might even see kind of freedom babies being born who would never have been born, and this marriage would never have happened if it wasn't for what occurred over the last 4 years. So that's quite an incredible story, don't you think? How good things can come out of the worst of things. So with that little uplifting thing, I'm going to leave it. Videos might be a bit sporadic from me over the next few days, because as I mentioned in one of my videos yesterday, I'm going to this Sounds Beautiful festival down there in Dorset. I think there's still time to get a ticket and join me down there if you want to. I'll leave a link to that in the description box below as well. And if you're going to go, I'll see you there. If not, I'll probably be sort of wandering around the site at times and just speaking to camera about whatever my thoughts might be. So with all the stuff going on in the background, so that might give you at least a little bit of a flavour of what's happening. But anyway, I've got a tent and some camping stuff to dust off and pack up. So I'm going to go and do that, get myself ready to go off fairly early-ish tomorrow morning. So I'm going to leave it there, and I'll be back soon. Tim from Fair Play Now, thanks for watching.